Order. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the town clerk please call for the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Austin?
Here.
Trustee Leron Ehrlich?
Here.
Trustee Smith?
Here.
Trustee Murak?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Here.
Mayor Woodcock?
Here. Let's see. Agenda approval. Does anyone have any additions or deletions to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Citizens' comments. Citizens' comment is the point in the meetings where the public is invited to address the town board on all items that do not appear on the agenda. All comments should be directed to the town board. There is a 3-minute limit per speaker. Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Is there any citizens' comment? Moving on. Minutes of the previous meeting.
Don't have them.
They'll be distributed at the next one. All right. Acknowledgement of paid list of bills. Saw that one coming. Yes, Elizabeth.
I'm waiting for Courtney to arrive. Just give her a minute. So on the Visa business card detail, there are several references to plants and landscaping Beef and Bean Day. Did that get charged to Beef and Bean Day? Or is that just referencing that that's the event at which that occurred?
It was referencing that's the event that occurred. It came out of the downtown street fund.
Thank you, because my budget for Beef and Bean Day was not
Right,
that
no.
big.
It did not go in there.
Thank you, that's my only question. I'm done.
Okay. Anyone else?
Really?
Good, move on.
Move to acknowledge the paid bills. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town administrators report.
Yes, Mayor, I have a couple things. Hopefully you all noticed when you were walking over here that the parking lot is nearing completion. The striping is in. We need to do some concrete work up to the east door of Town Hall. But it is getting there slowly but surely. The sidewalk project on Highway 60 going out to Centennial is complete. I've seen joggers, bikers, saw a couple of youngsters on it this morning. So I think that is a big improvement for the town, asset that everybody can see and a lot of people can use. The final touches of the parking lot and of the Main Street landscaping project won't happen until next spring. The landscapers tell us that next spring is a lot better time to do the tree planting than right now, so we'll be finishing up both of those projects as early as possible next spring, and bring this project to completion and get on to the next one. That's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you. There's nothing on the consent agenda, so we'll move on to the action agenda. Action item number 1, consideration and approval of resolution 17 TAC 27 for the resignation of town board trustee Nick Ehrlich.
Those two guys are the great ones, Mayor.
Mayor and the board, this resolution simply memorializes trustee Nick Ehrlich's resignation from the board. And under state statute, the board is entitled to either call a special election to fill the vacancy or to appoint an individual, a qualified individual, to fill that vacancy. This resolution assumes that the board will forego the expense of a special election and appoint someone to fill the vacancy within 60 days of the vacancy.
Motion.
I move to approve Resolution 17-28, a resolution accepting the resignation of trustee Nick Ehrlich and declaring the vacancy to be filled by appointment of the town board.
Second.
Or 27.
17-27.
Says 28.
Says 28 on my book.
My book says 28 also.
Might be a typo. Mine says 27 on.
Mine says 27.
Mine says
So what
28.
is it?
The resolution says 1728.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what's on the agenda.
Oh,
So,
All right, perfect.
1728.
Elizabeth, you seconded it?
Yes.
Yep.
Look, you good?
Vote.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Austin?
Yes.
Trustee Leon Ehrlich?
Yes.
Trustee Burek?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock?
Yes. For the next
Motion
action
passed.
agenda item, I'm gonna recuse myself from the room because it has to do with the company, the nonprofit I'm part of, and the event that I'm trying to put on, so.
Okay, for this action agenda item, the town board will convene as the liquor licensing authority. And it's consideration and approval of a special event liquor license for the Veterans Day celebration on November 11th, 2017.
The Veterans Day celebration is asking to have a special event liquor license for the veterans, for the celebration on November 11th, 2017. They've submitted an application to the town in order to do so. And so that's what this request is for. There's one item I'm missing from this application that I was told that I will have at the end of the week after speaking to Lot Holding, and that's authorization for them to use the property in order to host this. So before I submit this application, if approved by the board, I will need that letter beforehand, be part of the file.
Will they be serving beer and wine, or just beer, or will there be hard liquor? It's just, what license is it?
It
exactly?
is, well, the license is for all,
Oh,
so.
okay.
Do we make a motion in this?
Yeah,
we
because
get out of this?
no, we're,
I'd make a motion to approve, special events liquor license upon, getting the letter from Lot Holding.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that we approve the special events license for the Veterans Day celebration. Could we have the roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Trustee Burek?
yes.
Trustee Austin?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Yes. The Liquor Licensing Board Authority will adjourn and reconvene as the town board. If you could ask the mayor to step back in. Sorry, we're not going to do it.
Okay. I'll just give it away. All right, action item number 3, consideration and approval of ordinance 757 for the sale of the grain elevator. And I do know, obviously, town attorney's here, and I do know that the representatives are here also that wanna purchase it. So. You wanna go first?
Mayor and the board, an ordinance is required for the town to approve this because under state statute, again, as a statutory municipality, any sale of municipal property that isn't otherwise used for municipal purposes can only be sold pursuant to a duly adopted ordinance, and that's why the purchase and sale agreement is presented via ordinance 757. The sale price of the proposed grain elevator property is $90,000. That is a little below the assessed valuation, and the assessed valuation really isn't even a good indicator of fair market value or an appraised value. However, it is lower than that, but that's in consideration of these economic development benefits the town hopes to attain through the conditions set forth in the purchase and sale agreement and the special warranty deed, which do require the buyers to renovate the property consistent with the distillery concept they presented to the board through approval of a site plan within 18 months of closing of the property. And closing is anticipated to occur not later than January 31st of this coming year, 2018. If they aren't unable to complete those renovations within that 18-month period, then the town can reacquire the property. I don't know if the buyers have any additional statements you want to make.
No, I'm the buyer here.
Yeah.
So I'm the personal buyer of the said property. So yeah, no, I don't have anything there. The only question that I had was if, say I get 90% through a full-up renovation that's cost me $150,000, does the town reimburse me for what I've put into it plus the fair market value that I bought it for, the 90,000, or am I out the 150?
I don't understand the question.
So I'm purchasing the property for 90,000. There's a stipulation written in the purchase sale agreement that the town has first right to buy it back. If I'm working towards renovating that building and I've put $100,000 into it and something happens to me for some other reason and it doesn't get finished in 18 months, the town gets to buy that property back. Do they get to buy it back for the 90,000 I put in and I'm out the 100,000? Or you buy it back for the 90 plus whatever I put to the property in renovations to that point? That's my concern.
I would say that because the town is selling it to you at a discount, the county has it on the books at 205,000. They're selling it to you for 90, so the first 120,000 of your money is at risk, because that's a discount to you right now. Anything over that, then the city would buy it, or the town would buy it back at 90 plus using your 150, another 30, so they'd buy it back from you for 130,000 is what I've been thinking all along. I haven't read this last draft, but that's what I was assuming it would happen.
Well, the thing is, it's securing its verbiage. Is what it is. And I think that if you got to 90%, something happened, I'm pretty sure that the town would still be willing to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
You know,
sure.
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure
had
it's
to.
not gonna be one of, well, we only got 10% and we got a good deal here, so let's take it from them. I think that.
No.
No.
to the
Well, I mean,
town-
we've all seen the property. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's worth
I think
200.
that
I mean, it's
there would
only
be
worth
some-
what somebody pays. As a real estate investor, I mean, I know what that is and I know what assessors do, so.
We don't-
But no, we're gonna renovate it. I don't foresee it. I just have to do my due diligence on my part. This is my family's money as well, so I have a little girl that I have to watch out for. So that's why I had to ask the question.
Okay.
So.
But other than that, I don't have any concerns. And we're gonna start right away, so.
Great. We look forward to it.
All right, yeah, me too.
The pictures look great.
Yeah, so yeah, that's our main,
We have that grant.
and you'll get a better site map once I get the engineers in there to,
Part of that grant still, I
you
think.
know, really make it good and do the full up plans, so.
All right,
Very exciting. Thank you. Okay.
thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You ready for a motion?
Take a motion.
Okay, I move to approve ordinance 757 for the town of Milliken authorizing the sale of real property owned by the town of Milliken.
Second.
It's a tie.
You can have it.
Ready for a vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
trustee Austin,
Yes.
trustee Burak,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner.
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes. Let's see, item number 4. Consideration and approval of ordinance 758, adopting the occupational use tax for marijuana. Town Attorney Linda Macho, wanna give a quick brief?
Mayor and Town Board, the registered electors of the town approved in November 2015 a ballot question authorizing an occupation tax of up to $10 per sales transaction of retail marijuana. And so ordinance 758 intends to implement that voter-approved tax through a new Article 6 of Chapter 4 in the Municipal Code. And the tax would apply to, obviously, retail marijuana sales only, so it excludes medical marijuana, and that's because the voters didn't authorize that. And it would apply to retail store sales, retail cultivation sales to other retail stores, or product manufacturers. And then it also applies to sales by retail marijuana product manufacturers. And the sale, the transaction is tiered, and I'll draw your attention to page 4 of the ordinance, because I think it deserves your attention and possibly discussion. We had presented this at a work session, and I'm not sure the board obviously couldn't make any decisions in a work session, but the, since the sales transaction is $10 maximum, we've tiered it so that the amount of a sales transaction up to $50 would be exempt from that tax. And I think that was based on a discussion we heard regarding a sale of something less than an ounce or a, you know, a marijuana joint or two, that the town didn't want to tax or overtax that kind of lesser transaction. So right now, we have that being exempt from tax, but that is certainly subject to your policy determination. And then any transactions between $51 and $249 would be a tax of $5 per $100 sold. And then for transactions of $250 or more, the tax would be $10 per $250 sold. So that's really the substance of the ordinance is right there in that table. And I think the real question is, do you want to, you know, exempt those smaller transactions? Do you want it to be something less than $5?
I don't want to be greedy.
What's up?
I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to overtax it.
I
I
don't
think
either.
we need to collect something, whether it be a quarter, 50 cents.
we have any research on other towns, what they're collecting?
This is sort of a unique tax, so I don't think we have a lot of information on what, through this kind of occupation tax.
Edibles are all medical only?
No.
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 Recreational.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
both.
So a lot of the edibles sell for under $50.
Yes, probably, I would think.
So,
You're still
I
gonna be
think we're-
collecting your regular sales tax,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
right? I mean, this isn't exempt from all sales from all sales
So we still
tax.
collect the regular sales tax on
Yes,
Right.
any
Yes.
transaction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Then I'm
this
good
is-
with this.
This is just extra?
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Oh,
I'm good
Sorry I
with
didn't make that
this.
clear,
Oh,
but yeah, your
sorry.
sales tax still applies. This is
Oh.
sort of an additional tax above and beyond that.
oh,
And we
well,
had that discussion where if you tax it too much,
we
it
don't
puts
wanna
the
Yeah.
price
Yeah.
of a
We don't overpay.
product out of range.
I agree. As long as there's still a regular sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with this.
Any more discussion? No?
I think really the purpose is to get to the cultivation, right, and the impacts of that through deliveries outside of the town or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
Motion?
Mayor, I would move to approve ordinance number 758, an ordinance of the town of Milliken, Colorado, imposing an occupation tax up to $10 for each sale transaction by any retail marijuana store, any retail marijuana cultivation facility, and any retail marijuana product manufacturing facility within the town, setting forth the purposes of such tax, establishing administrative and enforcement procedures, providing for an effective date of such tax, and enacting a new Article 6 of Chapter 4 of Milliken Municipal Code concerning such retail marijuana occupation tax.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Eastman,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Trustee Austin,
Yes.
Trustee Burek,
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Item number 5, consideration and approval of ordinance 759 for amending Division 1 or Article 1 of Chapter 18 of the Municipal Code concerning impact fees. Again.
Mayor and board, as you are all aware, you authorized the town administrator to commission a new impact fee study that was conducted and performed by BBC Research and Consulting. And through their efforts, they are recommending changes in your current impact fees for streets, water, and wastewater. And through that exercise, not only do we want to adopt those new impact fees by resolution, but it generated my need to review the current impact fee structure in your code. And the collection and imposition and auditing and expenditure of impact fee funds are restricted under state law. I mean, there is a specific process and requirement for collecting those impact fees and actually for reporting them on the website and for how they're used. And so this ordinance 759 essentially recodifies and creates more substance and framework to the process by which the town will collect impact fees. For example, if we're accepting land to be dedicated for a new wastewater treatment plant, then we couldn't also collect the plant investment fee that would cover the same sort of impact. So the ordinance now says that you can't double bill a developer an impact fee for a dedication that they may have already conveyed to the town. So there's that kind of provision in there. It requires that the impact fees be legislatively adopted, which you are doing through adoption of a resolution by public hearing and giving public notice. There should also be a right to appeal the impact fee, and the impact fees have to be in an interest-bearing account, and that they be published on the website. So those are the kinds of requirements, and that's how the ordinance has been drafted to address those requirements.
Any discussion? No?
I move to approve ordinance number 759, amending Division 1 of Article 1 of Chapter 18 of the Municipal Code concerning the imposition, computation, and collection of certain impact fees on new residential and commercial development and establishing procedures related to impact fees.
One second.
Okay.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I didn't hear who seconded.
Scott?
Scott.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
trustee Austin,
Yes.
trustee Burek,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner,
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes. Item number 6 is public hearing for the consideration and approval of Resolution 17 TAC 24, amending the fines and fee schedule. It is 6:57, and I'm going to open the public hearing.
Before you tonight is Resolution 1724 to update the impact fee schedules, or impact fees that you guys just approved. On there, it includes, there's an attached fee schedule in the resolution, but I'll go over the brief ones that changed. The street fee went from 1,000 to 2,000. The residential 5/8 inch meter, water meter went from 9,000 to 9,487. And the sewer tap for 5/8 inch residential went from 4,000 to 4,555. Is there any questions?
Any discussion from you guys? Any questions from the public? 6:58, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Take a motion.
Public hearing.
I just closed it. I asked if there was any questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't hear that.
Okay, I move to adopt resolution number 17-24, adopting the fee schedule with changes to the impact fee rates effective January 1st, 2018.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, sir. Trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
trustee Burek,
Yes.
trustee Austin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes. Item number 7, public hearing for the consideration of approval of Resolution 17 TAC 27, amending the fines and fee schedule. It is 6:59, I'll open the public hearing.
All right, before you is Resolution 1727 to amend the comprehensive fee schedule to adopt marijuana business license fees and liquor license fees for brew pubs and distillery pub licenses. Inside the resolution, we've added quite a few fees for the marijuana application. The new license application fee is $2,500, and the annual renewal application fee will be $1,500. We list out the different annual licenses in there as well. I won't read each one. Same thing with the operating retail fees. Retail marijuana store will be $3,000. Retail marijuana products manufacturing facility is also $3,000, and a retail marijuana cultivation facility is $3,000. Then we added in a brew pub fee of $500 for a new license and a distillery pub of $500. And then the annual occupation tax on an alcoholic business sales, brew pub of $250 and a distillery pub of $250. Any questions?
Any questions from the public? No? 7:01, I'm gonna close the public hearing. You guys got any questions? Take a motion.
I move to adopt resolution number 17-27, adopting the fee schedule with changes to the business and liquor license fees effective October 25th, 2017.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Burek,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner,
Yes.
Trustee Austin,
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Item number 8, consideration and approval of resolution 17-26, marijuana licensing application policy. Town Attorney Linda Machow.
Mayor and Board, the Board previously adopted ordinances 753 and 754, regulating both medical and retail marijuana businesses through licensing and zoning regulations. And we have had discussions with the Board at your work sessions about adopting some sort of application procedure policy, which is authorized within those ordinances that you previously adopted. And the purpose of the application process policy is to establish a threshold requirement for applicants proposing to submit applications. And those threshold requirements include provision that the applicants have a net worth of at least $1.5 million, that they provide estimated first-year revenues and expenditures, that they have a minimum 3 years' experience operating a licensed marijuana business, that they be required to provide employee training programs and to confirm that in their application, and then to also include a description of an odor mitigation plan. Those are just a few of the policy requirements. The policy itself is attached to the resolution, and there is a blank in there for the application timeframe for the town to accept applications and to close applications, because as you all know, we've only approved 2 licenses per class, and the town staff doesn't want to be overrun with the submission and review of applications. So we're looking for a time frame because the town clerk was out of town when we were finalizing this. I think we didn't get confirmation of the time frames that we'd be comfortable with on a staff level. I think, Cheryl, you can speak to that, but we were thinking 2 to 3 week time frame for accepting applications. Assuming we get applications, then we would close the process after that time frame expired.
No, I didn't say that.
Got you.
Or do we want to wait December? It's Christmas.
What?
So we were talking internally about opening the application period on November 1st for 3 weeks. And it's open to board discussion and staff input, of course.
And then allowing it to be open for 2 to 3 weeks.
Why only 2 to 3 weeks? Because you think you're gonna get a lot of
You could
applications?
potentially
Okay.
receive a lot of applications.
And then
I
if you
think
cut it off, it
most-
won't be too overwhelming.
I think we've received enough inquiry from people knowing that we're going to be allowing, that they're watching for this application to be
Okay.
ready.
Okay.
And I think within that time frame and the criteria that needs to be a part of that application,
Mhm.
I think it'll limit those that, and those that are interested. I think 2 or 3 weeks probably is a sufficient amount of time.
I guess my question would be, would we be accepting applications from people who don't have any property in mind that we would
They're all
consider
gonna-
processing?
They're all
an
gonna
application?
apply, I guarantee that. They're gonna fill an application, hand it out, but it's gonna be the staff's job to go through and say that's incomplete, that's complete. Be my guess, right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, on the application, it does require a specific location of the proposed
Right.
marijuana business within the town. So, you know, they wouldn't be able, nobody would be able to say, well, I'm gonna do that on block 23 of lot 47 or whatever, without already having tied that down.
Right, so I would say you pull the application, you look at it, oh, no property? No. No property? No. It takes less than 2
Well-
minutes, right?
Basically, yeah, but if they don't have the proper stuff,
Right.
you know.
Right, and the process will be that there is a required pre-application meeting, because we don't want people just submitting half-completed applications, or, you know, emailing Cheryl the application form. So they have to have a pre-application meeting, and then Cheryl can review things with prospective applicants, what the requirements are, so that they can actually fill out the form with some information from the town and input from the town. And then when they're ready to submit, they're gonna sit down with the town clerk again. And Cheryl will have a checklist to say, have you completed everything? And on first blush, we can accept it. And then we still have that time frame in which to review to confirm it's a complete application. So there'll be input from the town staff as well.
Because it's gonna take a while to buy a piece of property, it doesn't happen overnight.
Well, you'd have to show proof of some legal possession, whether that's a contract to purchase or a lease.
At least.
So, I'll just say for the public's view, we spent quite a bit of time on this, coming up with criteria that we want to work for the business and for the town. I mean, we don't want to bring a business in that's gonna fail, that's the reason some of the criteria, 3 years in business, $1.5 million net worth. We wanna know that you're gonna stay in business and that you can run a business. And that's the reason we come up with some of that. And I think with the application process we got set, we're gonna have serious inquiries only.
Agree. Anything? No?
Okay, Mayor, I would move to approve resolution number 17-26, approving a retail and medical marijuana application procedures policy.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Can I get clarification too on the time frame? Do you want the
Oh.
town staff to set that? Are you comfortable with November 1st or November?
I'm comfortable with November 1st.
Yeah, let's start November 1st.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Till when, though? We have to close it.
For
2 weeks. I would do
The
it for 2.
21st.
till
3 weeks.
21st?
I would do it for 2, because Thanksgiving falls in there too.
Well, it doesn't fall till the
No.
23rd, so 3 weeks. Okay, November 1st till the 21st.
Is 2 weeks enough time for the
That's
applicant to
3.
get everything together?
That was
That's
3
3.
weeks.
That was 3 weeks.
And it would just be for the pre-application, correct? Or would it be for the?
No, for the whole.
That's the whole thing.
The whole enchilada.
I mean, that's kind of rushing somebody. You want the paperwork filled out correctly.
Or, you know, much like a liquor license, generally, I have it in my hands for 30 days before I bring it to the board in order to go through and make sure that everything is complete.
You know, the closing date isn't as important, because if you've got two applications that we think are complete in any class, then that time frame's cut off under the policy anyway. You're not gonna accept anymore. So, you know, maybe the end date isn't as important.
I'd leave an end date, because I know when we discussed this, and we had conversations about it, that this is a date, you know, basically, we set a date on it, and if your stuff isn't complete, and, you know, you don't have it back in by the time that the end date's set, you have incomplete application. Cause I thought that was when we had, you know, certain discussions where if you don't bring a complete application, it's not our job to do your job. They have attorneys, they have people that do this. So it shouldn't be having our staff spend time going, you know, well, you need to get this, or you need to get that. These applications are pretty simple in that aspect of, I could probably teach my 7-year-old how to put one together.
It doesn't look like it's too hard.
No. I mean, it's either, you bring a complete application, and we're not gonna give you any more time to keep coming back to us with additional things. If your application comes in and it's not complete, it goes in the round filing cabinet. No, it's not a public hearing,
Oh, it's not?
no,
Oh.
but thanks for doing my job.
No, but if you don't have 2 applications, are you just gonna cut it off?
That's, if we only get 2 applications, we get 2 applications, we
What if
get
you
1
only get
application.
one?
They have their time.
But then you'll have to reopen another application process at some point, right, if you want to?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, but we're only going for 1, is what, right now, is what we've talked about.
Ordinance says two,
I thought we were going for
Oh,
two.
does it?
so how can you limit it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the ordinance says two.
If it didn't work out to get two, then that's all right, then we get advertised for two according to the ordinance.
So, but either way, I mean, it's not our job to force people to come bring applications in. They bring it complete, or it doesn't get counted. That was the whole idea behind this. Not for us to hold their hands for an application process.
I personally don't know if you can tie up land in a 3-week period.
I think you could get a lease on it, or at least the paperwork.
If they have a contract.
Yeah, the
A contract
contract.
is-
Contract,
Yeah,
Option.
Yeah,
Mhm.
an option.
or an option, that's,
I think they could do that.
so that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it takes 30 days to close on anything.
But they're not,
Right.
they don't
Well,
have
they
to.
don't
It's
have to
more than that.
close.
Right.
That's
So
close.
Yeah.
you don't have to close, but as
Just
long
have
as
to.
you.
Have a
Have
lease
that,
contract, an
yeah.
option to buy
I
contract.
mean, if they're gonna turn in an application and pay the fee, we'll probably say this,
Yeah.
because the fee is on a couple $100, you know? All right, there's a motion on the floor.
Well, wait, what's up? You're getting ready to say something?
no, we were just talking offline here for a minute, and if you have a close date and you only get in the door 1 application for 2 classes of license, and you still have the other classes available and the other 1, retail store available, and you're closing the application period, is that your intent, to close off a second applicant?
Forever? It's not gonna be, we can still come back and open it. Right?
Yeah, I just want to be clear about what,
I mean, you're gonna see out
Since we're
front
only
who's gonna be
accepting 2
serious
anyway.
about wanting to do it. But I don't think it should be open-ended, absolutely not. It'll be a nonstop flood of applications.
But once you get 2, you'll be done.
And I
Mhm.
guarantee they still try and wait, get themselves on the list somehow.
Waiting list, there you go.
Yeah, I guarantee that's what someone tries doing. I
You don't
guarantee
ever
you're
have
gonna,
a
I guarantee,
business closed, nobody else ever gets in.
you're never gonna get, I guarantee you don't get complete applications with people. I know, I'm a pro at paperwork, I never complete things.
Yeah, but you're not applying for marijuana license.
I mean, it's just, I'd say close it. If it doesn't work out, we can always come back and reopen it. That's me. And I would probably redo a motion, so this way it's
I was
clear.
just gonna ask, if you wanted to include in the motion the timeframe.
I would.
Yeah, I said November 1st to the 21st.
Okay.
It's 3 weeks.
Cheryl, did you say you've already had a lot of inquiries?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Did I have a second?
Yes, sir.
One, you two?
She seconded.
She seconded it?
I thought
Alright.
you did.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, sir. Trustee Austin?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Burek?
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock?
Yes. All right. Item number 9. Amendment 1 to, what the hell? Addendum E and ETAC 1 to the Town of Milliken Development Agreement for Settlers Village, Brookstone subdivision. Linda?
Yes, Your Honor, this came about, the developer for Brookstone, it's a multifamily project in the Settlers Village subdivision. I guess you could say that he complained that we were much higher on our fees for multifamily than other towns. Carrie and myself did look at Fort Collins, Loveland Water District, City of Greeley, City of Loveland, and for multifamily, they do set the fees from 52% to 70% of the regular fee. So we looked at it, kind of took a weighted average, and we came up with a 65% fee for multifamily. And rather than make that a blanket fee for all multifamily, we'd like to consider it on a case-by-case basis. In this case, it would be specific to Brookstone Development. Our $9,487 water plant investment fee would go to $61.66, and our $45.55 sewer fee would go to $2,960. It does make sense based on studies that some of these other cities have done. Multifamily generally don't use as much domestic water. They don't have maybe washers and dryers or dishwashers or any landscaping at all. So it is justified by studies that were done by other communities.
How much raw water are we requiring on multifamily?
These
One
mul-
certificate per?
These
Okay.
multifamilies are still under certificates, yeah.
The one per unit,
Yes.
per individual unit.
What size are the units?
I don't know, does anybody know what size?
There's
the
one
units
like
are?
building right now.
I don't know,
Out there,
they're like
tiny.
12 to 14, I think.
Hmm?
12 to 14. 100 square feet.
One and two.
One and two bedrooms.
One and two bedrooms. I don't have the square footage.
Do we know that they don't have washers and dryers and dishwashers?
No, I can't say that for a fact. No.
If you look at the plans, I think their front yards are like 2 feet though.
That's non-pot water for front yard
That's non-pot.
irrigation over there, so. That doesn't consider, so I think, I don't know. You're putting us in the middle.
Yeah, I didn't take the
We're
lowest one.
not the higher low,
Yeah.
we're in the middle. Right now, we're the highest,
Yeah.
by how much?
Well, dollar amount, but percentage, we'd give no discount to multifamily. Everybody else does give a discount to multifamily. Dollar amount, even with these fees, we're closer to the top end than the bottom end. Our water tap fee is a little higher without the discount. It is a nice project, and it would, be good to fill in that area.
So the only way I could see this work is, like you say, a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want to set a precedent. Prices fluctuate up and down, so.
And I think we need to encourage some multifamily development if we can, so, yeah, I would be in favor myself of lowering it.
Got a motion?
Yep, Mayor, I will move to approve amendment number 1 to addendum E1 to the Town of Milliken Development Agreement for Settlers Village subdivision, Brookstone subdivision filing number 2, phases 2 to 4, and addendum E to Brookstone subdivision phase 1.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Meisner,
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich,
Yes.
Trustee Burek,
Yes.
Trustee Austin,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock.
Yes.
Motion passed.
That's everything for the regular agenda. The next on the agenda is executive session.
Mayor, I would move that we go,
Wait,
or
Take five?
take a 5?
Take five.
Okay,
all right,
then I'll wait.
we'll take a
We need to list what we're talking about?
5-minute
It's for, yeah.
break.
Legal advice.
We'll come back at
I'm hoping she's doing.
7:28, 7:30.